Yeah, I seen a cycle spin too many times. New faces chasing glitter over rhymes. They study charts instead of studying craft. Build image first and let substance last. You switch your tone when the deal came through. Change your stance when the cameras grew. Yesterday you spoke with grit in your throat. Today you filter every quote. I don't resent success, I question disguise. When identity bends to monetize. When culture reduced to market and scheme, and passion replaced by manufactured dream. You praise the art when the rent is low, but when checks arrive your morals go. Suddenly struggle is inconvenient. Authentic voice becomes obedient. I stay grounded in original aim. Skill before status, art before fame. No need to chase the flavor of wheat. Consistency speaks when trends grow weak. Time exposes the borrowed style, the rented persona that lasts a while. You can rehearse charisma and pose, but truth leaks out when pressure grows. I watch careers built on sudden hype, fast like sugar but thin and tight. Audience loud for a fleeting phase, then silence stretch for endless days. Meanwhile I refine what can't expire. Breath control, cadence, lyrical fire. Not chasing the wave, I build the tide. Patient enough to let it ride. You copy slang from wherever it trend. Borrow a flow and call it blend. The mimicry fades when origins speak. Real roots anchor what fakes can't keep. There's weight in the way a line is placed. Years behind every bar embraced. You can't shortcut depth with a viral post. You can't skip steps and still boast. This isn't bitterness toward your climb. It's observation over time. When art becomes costume to fit a mold, you trade your spirit for quick gold. I refuse to bend for temporary gain. Refuse to dilute to entertain. If my voice shifts, it's growth, not fear. Evolution clear year after year. You build personas for the feed. Manufactured moves to satisfy greed, but cameras off reveal the core, and core reveals what you stand for. Respect doesn't follow flashing chains. It follows discipline in your veins. It follows the hours unseen by a crowd. The drafts discarded, the ego bowed. I hold the standard without a shout, because substance outlasts doubt. When fashion changes its palette again, I remain steady with sharpened pen. Some think critique is jealousy, but I critique what I see plainly. When culture reduced to logo print and struggle sold in polished tin. You once spoke truth with steady tone. Now PR team script your own words weighed by sponsor approval first. Authentic hunger replaced by thirst. I'm not immune to ambition's call, but I won't let it distort it all. Ambition guided by craft and skill, not chasing applause at any will. The industry tests your spine and stance, offer shortcuts at first glance. If you accept, your depth grows thin. If you resist, you strengthen within. Longevity built on unwavering core, not chasing doors that open and close. When your hype cycle finally dips, what remains when the spotlight slips? Can you still command with stripped down beat? No guest features to master feat. Can you still write when noise is gone? Carry the weight and move on. I train for that moment, silent and stark, where only the craft can light the dark. Where audience smaller but ears are keen. Where skill alone keeps stage scene. Time's not enemy, it's referee. Exposing what's meant to be. It filters out the hollow sound. Less authentic voices stay profound. You can outrun critique for a year or two, but you can't outrun what's true. Eventually surface cracks will show, revealing how shallow roots can grow. I'm not racing clocks or chasing fame. I'm mastering form inside the frame. Each project shaped with patient hand. Each verse built to withstand. So when the cycle spins once more and new contenders crowd the door, I'll stand firm with sharpened view. No costume shift, no alter hue, because the art demands integrity, not seasonal adaptability. And when the noise dissolves again, only the discipline remains. step in the cipher with posture upright. Confidence sharp like a blade in the light. No timid approach, no half-measured stance. Every bar crafted to strengthen advance. I claim the center without hesitation, earned through repetition and dedication. Microphone check turns pulse into drum. Crowd lean forward when the cadence comes. This is command without shouting loud. Authority felt even through the crowd. Technique polished through countless nights. Syllables balanced in rhythmic flights. I treat the stage like a proving ground. Footwork steady, intent profound. Presence alone shift air in the room. Energy rising like imminent boom. Yeah. Not just talk but deliver refined. Breath control steady, thought align. Each verse structured with architectural care. No loose edges hanging in there. Yeah. You want position and sharpen your tone. Respect never gifted, it's skill that's shown. Confidence backed by measurable grind. Now hollow bravado escaping the mind. When the beat drop heavy, I anchor the frame. Voice cut through like it's carving a name. No rush to impress with gimmick or trick. The substance carry the weight of the script. This is celebration of craft at its peak. Power in presence, precision in speech. From block parties packed with heat to dim lit clubs with concrete beneath. Yeah, I move with rhythm embedded in bone. Tempo internal, uniquely my own. No need to mimic the trend of the day. Authentic approach, always find a way. Energy circulate when the baseline hit. Heads not steady, can't counterfeit. The groove pulled tight like gravity's hold. Sound so classic, yet future bold. Every syllable placed with intent. Flow never random or accident. Timing impeccable, cadence exact. Execution consistent, nothing abstract. I built the stance from ground level rise. I earn my stripes under skeptical eyes. No shortcuts carved into this climb. Only patience pressed into time. Yeah, the crowd feel truth in the tone I project. They sense the discipline and respect. No artificial shine on the art. It's rooted in culture from the start. From vinyl spin to digital wave. Kept same hunger I always gave. Technology shift but principles stay. Honor the craft in every way. When I step forward the vibe transform. Calm yet charged like gathering storm. You don't need hype when skill is tight. The rhythm alone ignite the night. I represent where the spirit began. Where breakbeats echoed across the land. Where DJ hand-shaped culture raw. Where MC voices carried on. So when I say I hold command, it's not ego loose and unplanned. It's years of sharpening thought and flow. Of understanding what real ones know. Confidence balanced with discipline strict. Not chasing clout, not chasing clicks. Longevity built on foundation sound. Every performance holds solid ground. Yeah, this is mastery forged in flame. Not a temporary viral name. Crowds can sense when craft is deep. When passion and rhythm are fused to sleep. No need to flex with shallow boasts. Let execution do the most. Bars hit crisp like winter air. Clarity slicing through despair. Yeah, I stand as pillar in center space. Not rushing lines, not losing pace. Wrist steady under spotlight glare. Composure constant, fully aware. Yeah, the mic is tool and sacred trust. Handle with honor, never rush. Voice a weapon and instrument both. Precision guided by lyrical load. You can hear it when the verse unfold. Confidence layer, yet control. No wasted motion, no scattered theme. Every bar part of larger scheme. This is elevation through dedication. Celebration without imitation. Original stance and competitive feel. Strength from within, never forced to yield. When the beat loop back to the start, I still find angles to set apart. Innovation within tradition frame. Respect the roots while shifting the game. So step in a circle if you prepared. Bring your best, no need be scared. But understand when cadence ignite, I command the space from left to right. Not arrogance but earn acclaim. Years invested in perfecting aim. Skill polished till flaws grow thin. Presence strong from deep within. This is the essence of holding the crown. Not pushing others but standing ground. Energy high, yeah, ego in check. Discipline firm in every aspect. When Then I exit stage and lights grow dim. Echoes still hang from edge to rim, because true command leave lasting tone long after spotlight move on. That's the posture, steady and clear. Authority built year after year. No borrowed shine, no rented fame. Just craft conviction and rightful claim. Yeah, yeah. No loose edges hanging with name. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no loose edges hanging in there. Paranoia hums beneath the surface like frosted wiring in the walls. You don't see the spark, but you feel the burn. That's how enemies move. They don't announce themselves with dance. They shake your hand, they memorize your schedule. They study your tone. Success attracts applause and analysis. Some clap with both hands, some clap with one, while the other reaches for your position. I bound to read rules like coding messages, who avoids eye concepts, who overcompensates with praise, who listens more than may speak. Not every rival weighs opposition openly. Some orbit quietly, some wait for fatigue, some wait for ego to slip. Ambition casts shadows. The brighter you shine, the sharper the outline of envy light reveals what darkness hides. I don't move in fear, I move in awareness. Calculated steps, measured trust. The streets trained in sync early. Faces change when opportunity shifts. Allegiances bend under pressure. Loyalty tested by actions. Money complicates everything. Friends turn accountants, allies turn negotiators. Respect turns transactional. I stay centered in turbulence. No sudden reactions, no loud accusations, only quiet adjustments. Enemies expose themselves through impatience, through subtle contradictions, through forced proximity, through over-evenness. I watch patterns more than promises. Consistency speaks louder than charm. Integrity survives repetition. Deception collapses eventually. Trust is laid, I hand it out freely, not revoked impulsively. Earned through time. The closer you rise, the narrower the circle must become. Not isolation, refinement. I've seen rivals smile at tables and whisper at corners. Sing compliments, hide calculations. Sing silence, carry intact. You don't need a public feud to have a private enemy. Sometimes opposition breathes beside you, waiting for a stumble. Preparation neutralizes the prize. I double check contracts, I guard conversations, I limit exposure. It's not suspicion without reason, it's experience speaking, patterns repeat in different faces. Lessons don't expire, enemies don't always want destruction. Sometimes they want replacement, sometimes they want leverage, sometimes they want your absence. I respond with discipline, sharpening skill daily, building losing reliance on others. The strongest position is one deal without dependency. Autonomy reduces vulnerability. Preparation increases control. I don't underestimate anyone. Underestimation is bad shot. Respect distance, respect silence. Some conflicts stay internal. No need for spectacle, no need for headlines, just strategic movement. I let performance speak, let consistency outplace rumor. Let time expose motives, let discipline create distance. When you're focused on growth, enemies lose leverage. They rely on distraction, you rely on progress. I measure alliances by action. Who shows up when it's inconvenient? Who stands firm when pressure builds? Who remains when benefit fades? Envy feeds off insecurity. Confidence starves it. Confidence silences doubt. Consistency discourages challengers. I don't see confrontation, but I don't ignore signals. Energy shifts, speaks volumes. Body language reveals truth. Sometimes the enemy exists, but so does vigilance and vigilance vigilance without paranoia. Balance awareness with clarity. Protect without isolating. Move without announcing. Enemies fade when you outgrow them. Outperform them. Outlast them. Outthink them. The key is elevation. Rise beyond their reach. Operate on a level where their noise can't travel. I don't carry grudges, I carry lessons. Lessons strengthen judgment. Judgment strengthens position. The game never fully rests. Opposition rotates. Circumstances shift. Awareness remains constant. I stand firm, not reactive, calm under tension, strategic under scrutiny, focused under fire. The enemy may circle, may whisper, may wait, but just
listen close, young blood, I've seen the pattern unfold. Bright sneakers on cracked pavement, hearts too bold. Fast cash flashing like it's freedom in disguise. But the glitter fades quick when reality replies. You think the corner loves you because it calls your name, because older heads nod and invite you to the game. They hand you a package and a promise of respect, but they never show the prison yard you're about to collect. I watch boys with potential trade books for a block, trade dreams for a Glock, trade time for a clock. They said school was slow and the streets move fast. Didn't realize fast lanes never last. The hustle feels thrilling when the pockets grow fat. New jacket, new kicks, everybody noticed that. But that same spotlight draws attention from the law, and that same crew disappears when they see a flaw. The streets don't hug you back when you fall. They just swallow your echo and forget your call. You become another story told in past tense, another framed picture behind a chain link fence. I've seen mothers cry in fluorescent light, praying for a sentence that isn't too tight. Courtroom quiet while the judge reads fate. One bad decision sealed the gate. You think loyalty means never backing down, but real strength is walking away from that town, walking away from the pride that traps your mind, from the need to prove something to people left behind. They glorify struggle like it's noble to bleed, but nobody mentions the cost of greed. Nobody tells you how paranoia grows, how sleep gets shallow when the pressure shows. You start checking mirrors every time you drive, wondering who knows and who might arrive. Your phone rings late and your pulse jump high, because living that life means always asking why. Why that car slowed down on your block, why that friend suddenly changed his talk, why the crew feel different when the money's split, why trust start cracking bit by bit. The streets reward you with a temporary throne, but the crown feels heavy when you're alone. When the laughter fades and the night gets cold, you realize the story already been told. Oh, I'm not preaching from a place of fear, I'm speaking from scars that still sit here. I watched talent vanish before it grew, watched futures collapse before they flew. There was a kid who could draw like a master hand, sketching whole cities from a notebook stand. I was all hangs only in a file, numbered pages stacked mile by mile. Another had rhythm in every step, could've owned stages if he prepped. Instead he chose quick applause on the street. Now his name whispered when sirens repeat. You think you control the chaos you start, but chaos don't bargain with heart. Once you sign that invisible line, your freedom ain't fully mine or thine. The system built to catch you quick, especially when your skin fit a certain script. They see you first as suspect class, then ask questions after they pass. So don't let pride write checks you can't cash. Don't let anger turn your dreams to ash. Real power is patience under heat. Real courage is choosing a different street. You can hustle legally with the same drive, turn discipline into a way to thrive. Stack knowledge the way you stack that dough. Invest in growth and watch it grow. The corner will always be there, it's true, but it won't care what it does to you. It don't mourn, it don't repent, it just replaces the ones it spent. You got options even when it seems tight, even when the fridge look light. Temporary struggle don't equal defeat, but permanent choices can end your beat. Every step you take builds your lane, either toward growth or toward a chain. You might feel invisible in the crowd, but your future self is watching now. Make moves that your younger self would trust. Make choices built on more than lust, because fast respect is shallow and thin, and real respect starts deep within. I'm telling you this because I've seen the cost. Watch too many promising souls get lost. The streets don't love you, they test your will, and once you fail, they stand still. Choose the long road even if it's slow. Choose the grind that helps you grow. Choose a path where your name ring clear, not whispered in fear year after year. You don't have to be another headline read, another young face the system misled. You can break that pattern, shift that frame, rewrite the script, redefine the game. The streets might call, but you don't have to answer. You can outthink that seductive dancer. You can rise without that scarlet mark. Step in the light instead of dark. Listen close, the choice is yours, between quick applause and closed doors, between a legend told in grief or a legacy built on belief.
I rise beyond the static of crowded ground level thinking, past the chat of doubt. float in the fog of distraction. Mind calibrated to higher frequency. Breathing rare air where clarity sharpens reaction. Below, the noise fights for attention. Petty conflicts echo through narrow corridors. Temporary crowns pass between fragile egos. I choose altitude over applause. Elevation begins internal. Discipline is engine, focus as wings. Perspective is compass. I studied the architecture of corruption. How shortcuts seduce ambition. How power tempts integrity. How weakness disguises itself as confidence. So I fortified thought before chasing hype. Built foundation before scaling peak. Strength and character before testing gravity. Preparation before ascension. The climb is invisible to spectators. They see the summit, they miss the solitude. They miss the nights refining intent. Up here, distractions thin out. Conversations shift from gossip to growth. Competition transforms into calibration. Energy can serve for purpose. My words cut through haze like searchlights, not reckless, precise. Engineered for clarity. You can't survive at this level with shallow breath. You must expand lungs of patience. Stretch endurance of will, strength and mind against thin air below the clouds. Confusion thrives, impulse governs reaction. Noise overrides nuance, fear manipulates direction. Above, awareness dominates, emotion guided, not suppressed. Power balanced by restraint, confidence anchored in discipline. I observe storms without entering them. Thunder rolls beneath me, lightning fractures egos below. I maintain steady altitude. It's not arrogance, it's perspective firm. Distance refers patterns reveal strategy. Elevation filters negativity. Petty envy dissipates, false alliances dissolve. Authenticity endures. I refuse to anchor in shallow waters. I navigate currents deliberately. No drifting with trends, no surrender to noise. Each verse carries oxygen of thought, measured cadence, layered intent, purpose refined. When pressure rises, altitude protects. Mind sharpened by resistance, spirit anchored in principle, vision unobstructed. I built resilience against turbulence, studied the science of stability. Trained reflex against chaos, prepared for inevitable crosswinds. Below they debate surface issues. Above I analyze structure, root cause, examine systems, question. Elevation revealed hypocrisy clearly. Power without accountability, influence without integrity, noise without substance. I speak from vantage point earned, not inherited, not borrowed, forged through trial. There's weight and clarity, responsibility and insight. Obligation to remain disciplined, commitment to integrity. I don't descend for validation, approval doesn't sustain altitude. Consistency does, focus does. Each bar ascends deliberately. No accidental elevation, no random fortune. Structured ascent, you can't reach here through imitation. You must cultivate thought independently, sharpen instinct continuously, refine craft relentlessly. Clouds drift beneath as reminders of past limitations, of previous doubts, of former distractions. Growth demands separation, not isolation, but refinement of circle, alignment of purpose. Energy becomes sacred at altitude, guarded carefully, directed intentionally, invested wisely. I maintain humility despite height, aware gravity exists, aware complacency invites fall, aware discipline sustains. Elevation isn't escape, it's expansion, broader view, deeper understanding. Below, storms continue. Above, preparation continues. No stagnation at the summit, only constant refinement. The climb never truly ends, there's always higher clarity, greater discipline, sharper insight. I remain vigilant, observing shifts in current, adapting without surrendering principle, evolving without losing foundation. Altitude tests resolve, loneliness whispers temptation. Pride attempts infiltration, awareness defends. My words resonate from elevated stands, clearer signal, stronger transmission, purpose amplified. You can chase applause in crowded arenas or cultivate mastery in rare air. Both paths visible, only one sustains. I stand where noise fades, where thought sharpens, where discipline defines survival, where clarity reigns above the clouds, vision widens, intent solidifies, integrity anchors, focus strengthens. The summit isn't destination, it's responsibility to remain steady, to remain disciplined. And while chaos churns below, I continue refining altitude, breathing clarity, speaking from heights earned.
Step to the front when the drum kicks in. No hesitation, carved in skin. Bassline simple, sharp and raw. Voice cut clean like a circular saw. No orchestra needed, no later disguise. Just rhythm and breath and sharpened replies. We enter the space with purpose clear. Energy shifting when we appear. This is announcement without apology. Presence built on authenticity. No borrowed style, no filtered tone. Foundation solid, fully our own. The beat knocks steady, stripped to bone. Snare crack hard like a dial tone. Minimal sound, yet impact wide. Confidence rising from inside. You hear the stomp in every bar. Cadence traveling near and far. We don't whisper when it's time to speak. We project with power, strong and sleek. From pavement blocks to crowded hall. Same intensity through it all. Microphone grip like tool of trade. No artificial shine applied. This is performance, sharp and tight. Discipline dressed in spotlight. Crowd respond to the raw display. Head nod heavy in honest way. No need for complex metaphor made. Straightforward rhythm command the stage. Clarity punch through the atmosphere. Each syllable placed precise and clear. When we say move, the floor comply. When we say jump, the hands fly high. Energy circulate thick and dense. Every line built with confidence. No gimmicks hiding fragile skill. No trendy mask to chase a thrill. We stand in truth of craft refined. Voice aligned with pulse in mind. Every entrance feel like spark. Igniting sound in crowded dark. The beat might be bare but the presence full. Gravity shift when the verses pull. Call and response without rehearsal. Organic flow universal. We feed off rhythm, rhythm feedback. Sound so solid it cracked the track. This is introduction and declaration. Pure foundation without inflation. No overproduction, a master chord. Just drum and voice and hunger more. From block party speakers wired to pole. To larger systems that shake the soul. We carry the same unfiltered drive. Keeping the pulse of culture alive. No flashy entrance with smoke and light. Just beat drop heavy and stance upright. Raise steady, posture firm. No wasted motion in any term. Each rhyme land with calculated force. Syllables gallop like steady horse. Momentum on building, linear climb. Discipline fused with perfect timing. We don't lean on background choir. The raw exchange is all that's required. Drum pattern echo against the chest. Heartbeat sync at its request. Audience feel the stripped down truth. Authentic energy, fearless youth. This is impolished, the stereo shine is grit and rhythm intertwined. When the bassline loop in repetition, we escalate vocal ignition. Simple beat becomes platform strong. Every line stretch it long. You don't need layers to prove command. Just sharpen voice and steady hand. Confidence measured not by display, but by control of what you say. We represent that early sound where skill determine who wore the crown. Where DJ spin and MC shout and raw expression broke out. So when the rhythm hit again, we step ahead with sharpened pen. No borrowed cadence, no diluted tone. Each phrase cut like stone. The room vibrates with focused drive. No artificial hype to survive. Just presence firm and energy tight. Commanding space from left to right. This is how you state your claim. Without excess, without shame. No need to overcomplicate. Precision alone can dominate. From corner cipher to open stage, we channel fire without a cage. Each verse stand up bright and tall. No filler lines to stall. Minimal beat yet maximum reach. Each word within deliberate speech. Crowd react with instinctive flow. Because authenticity always shows. So when we say we here to stay, it's not empty talk and passing way. It's rooted deep in rhythmical and love for sound forevermore. The drum keeps knocking, steady and true. We ride its pulse from start to through. No flashy noise to distract the ear. Just voice and beat, aligned and clear. That's the essence, carved in sound. Simple structure, impact profound. Step forward strong when rhythm go. No pause, no doubt, here we go.
Step in the cipher with posture upright, confident, sharp like a blade in the light. No timid approach, no half-measured stance. Every ball crafted to strengthen advance. I claim the center without hesitation, earned through repetition and dedication. Microphone check turns pulse into drum. Crowd lean forward when the cadence come. This is command without shouting loud. Authority felt even through the crowd. Technique polished through countless nights. Syllables balanced in rhythmic flights. I treat the stage like a proven ground. Footwork steady, intent profound. Presence alone, lone shift there in the room. Energy rising like imminent boom. Not just talk but deliver refined. Breath control steady, thought aligned. Each verse structured with architectural care. No loose edges hanging in there. You want position and sharpen your tone. Respect never gifted, it's skill that's shown. Confidence backed by measurable grind. Not hollow bravado escaping the mind. When the beat drop heavy, I anchor the frame. Voice cut through like it's carving a name. No rush to impress with gimmick or trick. Substance carry the weight of the script. This is celebration of craft at its peak. Power in presence, precision in speech. From block parties packed with heat to dim lit clubs with concrete beneath. I move with rhythm embedded in bone. Tempo internal, uniquely my own. No need to mimic the trend of the day. Authentic approach, always find a way. Energy circulate when the baseline hit. Heads not steady, can't counterfeit. The groove pulled tight like gravity's hold. Sound so classic yet future bold. Every syllable placed with intent. Flow never random or accident. Timing impeccable, cadence exact, execution consistent, nothing abstract. I built this dance from ground level rise. Earn my stripes under skeptical eyes. No shortcuts carved into this climb. Only patience pressed into time. The crowd feel truth in the tone I project. They sense the discipline and respect. No artificial shine on the art. It's rooted in culture from the start. From vinyl spin to digital wave. Kept same hunger I always gave. Technology shift but principles stay. Honor the craft in every way. When I step forward the vibe transform. Calm yet charged like gathering storm. You don't need hype when skill is tight. The rhythm alone ignite the night. I represent where the spirit began. Where break big set go to cross the land. Where DJ handshake culture raw. Where MC voices carried all. So when I say I hold command, it's not ego loose and unplanned. It's years of sharpening thought and flow of understanding what real ones know. Not confidence balanced with discipline strict. Not chasing clout, not chasing clicks. Longevity built on foundation sound. Every performance holds solid grounded. This is mastery forged in flame. Not a temporary viral name. Crowds can sense when craft is deep. When passion and rhythm refuse to sleep. No need to flex with shallow boasts. Let execution do the most. Bars hit crisp like winter air. Clarity slicing through despair. I stand as pillar in center space. Not rushing lines, not losing pace. We're steady under spotlight glare. Composure constant, fully aware. The mic is tool and sacred trust. Handle with honor, never rust. Voice a weapon and instrument both. Precision guided by lyrical oath. You can hear it when the verse unfold. Confidence lay it at control. No wasted motion, no scattered theme. Every bar part of larger scheme. This is elevation through dedication. Celebration without imitation. Original stance in competitive field. Strength from within, never forced to yield. When the beat loop back to the start, I still find angles to set apart. Innovation within tradition frame. Respect the roots while shifting the game.
circle if you prepared. Bring your best, no need be scared. But understand when getters ignite, I command the space from left to right. Not arrogance, but earned acclaim. Years invested in perfecting aim. Skill polished till flaws grow thin. Present strong from deep within. This is the essence of holding the crown. Not pushing others, but standing ground. Energy high, yet ego in check. Discipline firm in every aspect. When I exit stage and lights grow dim, echoes still hang from edge to rim. Because true command leave lasting tone. Long after spotlight, move on. That's the posture, steady and clear. Authority built year after year. No borrowed shine, no rented fame. Just craft conviction and rightful claim. Yeah.
I rise beyond the static of crowded ground level thinking. Past the chatter of doubt and the fog of distraction. Mind calibrated to higher frequency. Breathing rare air with clarity sharpens reaction. Below the noise fights for attention. Petty conflicts echo through narrow corridors. Temporary crowns pass between fragile egos. I choose altitude over applause. Elevation begins internal. Discipline is engine, focus is wings, perspective as compass. I study the architecture of corruption, how shortcuts seduce ambition. How power tempts integrity, how weakness disguises itself as confidence. So I fortify thought before chasing height, build foundation before scaling peaks, strengthen character before testing gravity. Preparation before ascension, the climb is invisible to spectators. They see the summit, they miss the solitude, they miss the night's refining intent. Up here, distractions thin out, conversations shift from gossip to growth. Competition transforms into calibration. Energy conserved for purpose. My words cut through haze like searchlights. Not reckless, precise, engineered for clarity. You can't survive at this level with shallow breath. You must expand lungs of patience, stretch endurance of will, strengthen mind against thin air. Below the clouds, confusion thrives. Impulse governs reaction. Noise overrides nuance. Fear manipulates direction. Above awareness dominates emotion. Guided, not suppressed. Power balanced by restraint. Confidence anchored in discipline. I observe storms without entering them. Thunder rolls beneath me. Lightning fractures egos below. I maintain steady altitude. It's not arrogance, it's perspective earned. Distance reveals patterns. Patterns reveal strategy. Elevation filters negativity. Petty envy dissipates. False alliances dissolve. Authenticity endures. I refuse to anchor in shallow waters. I navigate currents deliberately. No drifting with trends. No surrender to noise. Each verse carries oxygen of thought, measured cadence, layered intent, purpose refined. When pressure rises, altitude protects. Mind sharpened by resistance. Spirit anchored in principle. Vision unobstructed. I built resilience against turbulence. Studied the science of stability. Trained reflex against chaos. Prepared for inevitable crosswinds. Below they debate surface issues. Above I analyze structure, root causes, examine systems, question. Elevation reveals hypocrisy clearly. Power without accountability. Influence without integrity. Noise without substance. I speak from vantage point earned, not inherited, not borrowed. Forged through trial. There's weight and clarity. Responsibility and insight. Obligation to remain disciplined. Commitment to integrity. I don't descend for validation. Approval doesn't sustain altitude. Consistency does. Focus does. Each bar ascends deliberately. No accidental elevation. No random fortune. Structured ascent. You can't reach here through imitation. You must cultivate thought independently. Sharpen instinct continuously. Refine craft relentlessly. Clouds drift beneath as reminders of past limitations. Of previous doubts of former distractions. Growth demands separation. Not isolation but refinement of circle. Alignment of purpose. Energy becomes sacred at altitude. Guarded carefully, directed intentionally. Invested wisely. I maintain humility despite height. Aware gravity exists. Aware complacency invites fall. Aware discipline sustains. Elevation is an escape, it's expansion. Broader view, deeper understanding. Below storms continue, above preparation continues. No stagnation at the summit, only constant refinement. The climb never truly ends.
There's always higher clarity, greater discipline, sharper insight. I remain vigilant, observing shifts in current, adapting without surrendering principle, evolving without losing foundation. Altitude tests resolve, loneliness whispers temptation, pride attempts infiltration, awareness defends. My words resonate from elevated stance, clearer signal, stronger transmission. Purpose amplified, you can chase applause in crowded arenas or cultivate mastery in rare air. Both paths visible, only one sustains. I stand where noise fades, where thought sharpens, where discipline defines survival, where clarity reigns above the clouds. Vision widens, intent solidifies, integrity anchors, focus strengthens. The summit isn't destination, it's responsibility to remain steady, to remain disciplined. And while chaos turns below, I continue refining altitude, breathing clarity, speaking from heights, Cold nights under fractured street lamps, pockets thin, ambition thick. Dreams measured in dollar signs, hope tangled in survival instinct. We grew up counting coins on kitchen tables, calculating rent before we calculated risk. Bills louder than lullabies, hunger sharper than fear. Money wasn't luxury, it was oxygen. Without it, the room closed in. Opportunities locked behind numbers, numbers we didn't have. So we move with urgency in our veins. Fast talk, quick steps, hands steady, but minds racing. Every corner looked like possibility. Not greed, but pressure, not vanity, but necessity. When your family counting on you, morality bends underway. We chase paper like it could rewrite history, like it could silence sirens, like it could erase eviction notices, tape the cracked door. Harmony in our voices, tension in our choices, melody threaded through desperation, cadence riding heartbeat, tempo, double time thoughts under dim light. Cash promised freedom, freedom promised respect, respect promised safety, safety felt priceless. But the path was razor thin, one misstep and gravity claimed you. Quick money came with quicker danger, risks multiplying with every stack. Friends turned distant when stakes grew high. Paranoia placed laughter, trust weighed against profit. Loyalty tested by temptation. The streets whisper shortcuts daily. Fast route, fast game, fast exit. But exits weren't guaranteed, only consequences were. Still we moved, relentless and wired. Harmony tight like shared ambition. Voices blending over bass, heavy nights. Confession laid in melody. We knew the odds weren't fair. System tilted like broken scale. Job scarce, opportunities thinner, judgment quick and unforgiving. So hustle felt logical, almost inevitable. When doors stay closed long enough, windows become entrance. Money flashlight, artificial sunrise, illuminating faces with hollow glow. Temporary power in fragile hands, confidence amplified by currency. Yet beneath the shine, anxiety lingered. Eyes scanning rearview mirrors, phones buzzing with coded warnings. Sleep shallow and cautious, we prayed quietly between transactions, asking protection for risky decisions. Spirituality clashed with survival, morals rest in necessity. It's easy to judge from distance, harder to understand empty cupboards. Harder to ignore children asking why, harder to explain why you can't provide. So we push forward in rapid cadence, voices layer like armor. Every verse echoing shared reality, every note heavy with intent. Money became obsession and solution, curing disease in one breath. Lifting weights simultaneously, fuel and fire combined. Some fell chasing larger sums, greed widened cracks in unity. Ambition turned to rivalry, profit replaced principle. We watched caution dissolve in hunger, saw bright minds dim under pressure. The game didn't love us back, it only demanded more. Still the melody persisted, harmony strong in adversity. We sang through chaos, rapped through fear, moved through darkness together. Because survival felt communal, one rise lifted many, one fall. Echoed loudly, every decision carried ripple. Cash in hand felt like control, but control proved temporary. Market shift, allies shift, fortune shift. Only consequence remained consistent. Only time kept an honest record. Every shortcut recorded silently, every risk tallied precisely. We learn money amplifies character, strength becomes influence, weakness becomes liability, intent becomes visible. The love for currency never pure, it rooted in fear of lack and desire to escape ceilings, to break inherited limits. We didn't crave luxury alone, we craved stability, we craved options, we craved breathing room. Yet the chase distorted perspective, blurred moral compass, turned allies into competition, turned nights into battlegrounds. Harmony remained our anchor, voices synchronized under pressure, reminding each other of origin, reminding each other of cause. Because the pursuit of wealth can blind, can isolate, can consume, can trade peace for paper. So we balance hunger with caution, ambition with awareness, recognize money as a tool, not identity. Still the reality stays harsh. Without resources, doors stay shut. Without access, dreams shrink. Without opportunity, risk tempts. Our voices travel fast over heavy drums, carrying confession and caution alike. Blighted warnings wrapped in rhythm, stories etched in rapid lines. Money moves the world, but it doesn't mend the soul. It fills accounts, not emptiness. We continue striving with wiser eyes, understanding both sides of currency. It can lift families from dust or bury futures in greed. So we chase it carefully now, aware of traps hidden in shine. Harmony guiding our motion, discipline shaping ambition. Because survival demands resource, but wisdom demands restraint. And in this balance we stand, voices united, moving forward beyond desperation. One beat, one loop, infinite ambition. Drums knock steady like disciplined intuition. No orchestra swelling to soften the blow, just raw repetition letting confidence grow. Step in the circle when the needle drops. No warm-up laps, no halfway stops. Each verse a statement carved in air, precision placed with sharpened care. First voice centered with measured stride, calm delivery, ego aside. Syllable stack in a linear climb, control of cadence, command of time. No wasted breath in the opening bars. Thoughts align like calibrated stars. Confidence quiet but deeply set. No need for volume to earn respect. The beat remain unchanged and bare, a canvas daring you to declare. Second voice cut with rapid tone, flow accelerate but fully on. Patterns weave through pocket tight, consonants snapping left and right. Breath split quick but never thin, technical edge beneath the skin. Competition simmering, subtle glance, not hostility but sharpened stance. Each participant aware of the frame, knowing one beat can contain weak game. The loop persists with hypnotic grind, forcing clarity inside the mind. No melody cushion to lean against, only rhythm pure and dense. Third voice step with narrative weight, tone more grounded yet equally great. Metaphors lay like brick on stone, delivery firm and confidence on. No mimic of style from verse before, distinct identity at the core. Variety thriving within same drum, proving skill when the beat stay one. The crowd don't need flashing lights, they feel tension in crafted lines. Head nod heavy with each descent, respect exchange through accomplishment. Fourth entry strike with sharper edge, punchlines landing without a hedge. Cadence shifting in, syncopated bend, testing structure from start to end. The loop don't change but the energy does, each verse shifting the pulse and buzz. Microphone pass like sacred trust, no room for weak or lack of thrust. This is the art of collective display, individual strength on shared array. No chorus interrupt the flow. Just verse after verse, letting dominance show. One beat, surface proving ground, where authenticity is easily found. You can't hide behind layered track when drums expose what skill you lack. No studio trick to polish tone, no heavy mix to mask unknown. Just voice against composite line, where rhythm judge if you decline. The synergy building, gradual rise, competitive fire and focused eyes. Not chaos wild, but sharp and dart, each MC guarding their part. Bars become blades and friendly duel. Respect the craft, respect the rule. No personal shots or shallow boasts, just lyrical weight from coast to coast. The repetition of beat become test. Can you innovate without excess? Can you twist cadence yet stay intact? Maintain command without abstract. Each voice different in timbre and pace, yet unified in cultural base. The loop remain like steady spine, supporting structure of every line. Momentum build as verses align, collective force by design. No need to scream to prove your might. Technical clarity win the fight. The cipher spirit captured in track. No safety net and no turning back. Every entry must raise the bar or risk fading where echoes are. There's beauty in minimal sound and discipline tightly wound. When artistry shine without disguise under naked drum and critical eyes. The final verse arise with grace, knowing standards set in place. It doesn't rush or overextend. It complements what came before. And one beat, four minds refined, distinct deliveries intertwined. A lesson in balance and measured pride. How individuality and unity coincide. When silence follow the final line, you feel impact of shared design. No single voice claiming throne. The symphony built from each alone. That's how dominance truly formed. Not through gimmick or flashy storm, but through repetition that doesn't break. Through skill each participant stake. The loop may fade, but echo remain. Testament carved in lit domain. One beat, multiple crowns won. A collective triumph when it's done.
You claim you built the skyline from scratch, but history remember who struck the match. Don't rewrite chapters to fit your pride. Foundation was laid before you arrived. This is territorial in spirit and tone, not petty noise, but facts in stone. You talk like pioneer, fresh from dust, but we saw you rise on borrowed trust. Maps don't shift because you shout loud. Roots run deep beneath that crowd. You might decorate what others grew, but origin stories ain't new to you. I hear you boast on every track, acting like the birthplace got your back. But lineage traced through streets and blocks, long before you laced your socks. Don't confuse spotlight with starting flame. Don't confuse popularity with claim. Just because the cameras spin your way, don't mean you authored yesterday. We forged this sound in gritty halls, where breakers spun on concrete walls, where DJ cuts were weapon sharp and mic control was street art. You arrived when the path was paved, talking like you were first and brave. But real ones know how cycles run. Who held the torch before you begun? This ain't hatred, this is correction. Clarifying facts from misdirection. When you step in the house already built, show respect to the hands with guilt. You might have talent, I won't deny, but arrogance make memory die. And culture don't tolerate false claim, especially when it built on pain. You mention legacy like it's yours, but never stood in those early wars. Never battled when sound was raw, never fought for recognition law. Now you talk about origin point as if you carried every joint, but history etched in deeper ink, far beyond what you think. It's not about barrel or block alone, it's about where the seeds were sown, about who stood firm when nobody cared, who fought for space when stages were bare. You might dominate charts today, but that don't erase the older way. minute feet. Don't claim the harvest without the heat. The bridge you're building made of hype, constructed quick and thin and tight. But real structure need time and grind, not just confidence over mind. You throw slick lines with flashy tone, but swagger can't replace backbone. Culture is an accessory to wear, it's sacrifice in open air. I step forward with measured pace, voice steady, firm in stance and bass. Not screaming rage, but stating truth, preserving lineage from youth. If you want a seat at the table, wide, come with respect, not inflated pride. Acknowledge the giants that carved the lane before you celebrate your gain. Because when you distort the origin tale, the whole foundation start to pale. And once the past get pushed aside, the culture weaken from inside. This is competitive, sharp and clear, no coded message, nothing unclear. You can bring bars and we can spar, but don't rewrite who we are. The pioneers bled for recognition, face rejection and competition. You benefit from what they bore, yet speak like they exist no more. That's why I raise the mic like flag, not for ego, not to brag, but to defend what was earned through fight. Long before your debut night, the crowd might cheer your current wave, but trends are fragile, memory brave. When hype dissolves and fades away, roots still stand in solid clay. So before you crown yourself supreme, understand the wider scheme. This culture built by many hands across forgotten, worn out lands. You can innovate, you can expand, just don't erase what made you stand. Give credit where the echoes start, honor the craft from heart to heart. Because once you sever past from now, you weaken future anyhow. Respect the lineage, guard the flame, or watch your reign collapse in shame. This is final word without disguise, truth delivered without surprise. The bridge of false claim can endure, authentic roots always secure. So step correct when you declare, understand the weight you bear. Competitions find distortion, not culture sacred, can't be bought. History doesn't bend to boast nor fade because you brag the most. The bridge of ego may appear strong, but false foundations won't last long.
Baseline roll thick like velvet on chrome. Snare snap sharp through marrow and bone. Groove so heavy it tilt the floor. I step in rhythm and demand more. This ain't casual chatter on borrowed beat. This precision pressure under heat. Syllables slide with the razor glide. Confident, strong, no need to hide. You ask if the style got flavor intact, if the cadence align when the drums impact. Listen close when the pocket lock. Every bar land heavy as rock. Funk in the marrow, grit in the tone. Voice cut clean like polished stone. Not just loud but technically tight. Breath control steady from left to right. I treat every verse like calibrated math. Balancing, bouncing the aftermath. Groove in the bloodstream, pulse in the spine. Syllables snapping on perfect time. They try to replicate cadence and swing, but miss the weight that the real ones bring. You can mimic tone and copy stance, but you can't fake instinct in advance. I step on the track with magnetic pull. Rhythmic arsenal loaded full. No filler lines to pad the page. Every phrase sharpened edge to edge. Funk is in costume you put on quick. It's breath in the chest and rhythm and kick. It's confidence grown from countless reps. From mastering flow in incremental steps. The groove bend low then snap up right. I surf that way with grip so tight. No slip page and timing, no dragging pace. Every accent locked in place. From underground rooms with cracked up tiles to bigger stages stacked in style. Same hunger packed in every rhyme, no watered down tone to fit the time. You hear the swing in the way I phrase, subtle shifts in the rhythmic maze. Not random chatter but structured glide with swagger, steady and stance and stride. This is technical art with a dancer's ease, syllables bending like summer breeze. I don't rush bars for surface speed, I ride the groove with patient lead. The baseline talking, I respond, dialogue deep, connection strong. Drums converse with the voice I send, chemistry tight from start to end. They ask if the style still got that spark, if the flame still burn when it's dark. I answer with craft refined through years, through trial and grit and sharpened ears. No gimmick, hook to master skill, no flashy stunt to chase a thrill. Just rhythm robust and flow precise, delivery code is polished ice. Funk leaves in the subtle sway, in micro shifts that guide the way, in pocket placement and breath restraint, in knowing exactly what lines to paint. I don't rely on volume alone, projection balance with measured tone, clarity crisp in every verse, each metaphor cut to pierce and disperse. You can feel when the groove align like heartbeat, steady in perfect time. It's not accident, not random chance, it's practice honed in relentless stance. Competition fierce but I stay composed, technique exposed when the rhythm explode. I navigate patterns with steady aim, elevate cadence beyond the frame. This is showmanship, grounded in skill, not reckless hype but sharpened with every bar, delivered with conscious force, guided by craft is primary source. The drums may knock but I knock back, syllables stacking attack on attack. No lazy phrasing, no borrowed tone, every cadence uniquely grown. From studio booth to lift set raw, I bring same discipline and more. Energy high but control intact, no overreach when the crowd react. Funk in the bloodstream, fire and lung, voice articulate, raise the tongue. Precision married to confident stride, no compromise, no diluted pride. They measure flash in momentary fame, I measure substance within the game. Longevity rooted in skill, refined, not chasing applause from shifting minds. So when the beat drops, heavy and slow, I demonstrate how the real ones flow. Cadence carved with deliberate weight, rhythm bending but never late. Funk enough to command the room, to little depth in every boom. No empty boast, no shallow claim, just craft perfected and set aflame. When the track fade out to silence bare, the echo linger in charged air, because true groove etched in bone outlast trend and passing tone. That's how you prove without a doubt, not by shouting but by laying it out. Groove so solid it's standalone, skill so sharp it's overthrown none. Bass still rumbling distant night, cadence echo from left to right. Funk intact and technique supreme, art in motion, groove in scheme.